After years of wedded bliss, Nick couldn't take it any longer. Melissa, through no fault of her own, had grown up in a home without cable TV or a VCR. If that last sentence confused you, Google it. This had resulted in her having very little pop culture movie knowledge. In order to right this injustice, the duo will watch and discuss movie after movie until Melissa has caught up with the zeitgeist of her generation. Welcome to their journey.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. Can't wait to hear what we're watching.
Really? Like after last time, are you excited or are you apprehensive or what are you?
A bit nervous.
You nervous? I don't know what a nervous is.
Oh, it's actually, nervous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nervous. Okay.
Yes.
Is it like a regional nervousness? Is that what that is? Nervous? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Without further ado, do you have any idea what we're about to watch?
No, I don't know.
Like none?
No idea.
Nothing buzzing around in your mind?
Oh, probably a Freddy Krueger movie, actually, if I think about it.
Why would I do that to you?
I don't know, but you would.
Okay. You're wrong. Thank you very much.
Goodness.
We are going to watch a movie called The Fly.
Oh, no.
Why are you covering your mouth?
Oh, no. Because I know a little bit about the movie.
So you've heard of this one?
Yes.
Okay. What do you know about it?
Jeff Goldblum.
Uh-huh.
And it's the same director that directed The Fly. I mean...
It is the director who directed The Fly. That is absolutely true.
Sorry.
But not,
The Brood. It's the Brood director.
Oh.
What's his name? What? Oh, is that surprising to you?
No, you're assuming something about which fly we're watching. Okay. When do you think this movie was made?
What do you mean, which fly? Isn't there only one?
Nope.
The Fly?
It's Hollywood. There's remakes and
Which
remakes
one are we
and
watching?
remakes. I guess you'll have to find out.
Oh my gosh.
So you think we're watching one with Jeff Goldblum, okay?
Yes.
And when do you think it was made approximately?
Like 79.
79? All right. Okay. What else do you know about the film, though? Let's keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. That's it. Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum and the guy who directed The Brood.
Yeah.
Is that? Okay.
So it's weird and goopy. There's going to be lots of fluids.
Weird and goofy and lots of fluids.
That's what I think.
That explains so many times in my life. Okay. Wow.
Puberty.
Okay.
It's a puberty.
It's puberty. It's about puberty. Okay. I was thinking more like childbirth, but okay. So how are you feeling about watching this one?
I've kind of wanted to avoid it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think it's gross.
You think it's gross?
I think it's going to gross me out.
Okay.
This is definitely, if we are watching The Fly with Jeff Goldblum,
Mm-hmm.
I anticipate closing my eyes a lot.
So we have like a pillow ready for you?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. All right. I love the apprehension I'm seeing in your face right now. It makes me wish we were recording video on it, but we're not, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, all right. Any words or parting thoughts on this one?
Help.
That's really funny, and you have no idea how funny that is, actually. I'll tell you later how funny that is.
Okay.
Okay. So I kind of want to use your goopy as the words, but what words would you use to capture your impression of what you're thinking with the film?
Lots of fluids.
Lots of fluids. Let's just go with lots of fluids. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's hope we don't get any fluids on us.
Oh man. Okay, let's just get it over with.
All right, let's go check it out.
Okay.
Wow. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I survived. I'm feeling really proud of myself, actually.
Are you?
I am.
Why are you so proud of yourself?
I made it through. I closed my eyes a lot. I looked away a lot. But it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be.
Hang on.
Oh, no.
Sorry about that. Okay, please continue.
I don't want any flies in our house ever.
No?
No.
Okay. you made it through. You're proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Do you want to give us like a quick summary of what we just witnessed?
Sure, gladly. So the movie opens with Dr. Brundle, played by Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
And Veronica.
Yeah. Sorry.
Who is played by Gina Davis.
Gina Davis. I don't have an impersonation for her. Sorry.
Aww.
And yes, that was a Jeff Goldblum impersonation. I'm probably going to do it more because I can't help myself sometimes.
Well, he's just so great. You want to impersonate him the way he talks.
Yes.
Okay, so it opens with Dr. Brundle and this woman named Veronica.
Yeah.
They're at a party. They're all flirty.
Is that what that was?
The party or the flirty?
The flirty.
It was a little flirty.
Okay. All right.
And
good to know you know what that looks like. Note to self.
So he's like bragging about some scientific accomplishment. And he's like, well, why don't you just come back to my place and check it out? So she does.
Totally a line I used to use in college, of course. Yes.
Yeah, check out this major breakthrough I made.
Mm-hmm. This major breakthrough. It's just yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Brundle.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
So they go back to his place, and it looks like a legit lab that he also lives in.
Yeah.
And there's these weird, like, pod-looking things that are mechanical. And so as, like, a way to show her what they're all about, she takes off a stocking and puts it in one.
Is that part of the flirting, by the way?
Oh, yeah. I think that's part of the flirting.
Well, he asked her for something that was personal.
Right, that she could take off.
That she could take off, and she took off a stocking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, he typed some things into this really old school, awesome computer, clickety-clackety.
It was super advanced for when it was made, but yes, keep going.
Yeah. And then her stocking disappears, or so she thinks. She's like, what did you do with it? But he actually teleports it to another pod where it is there waiting. And she's like, whoa, this is crazy, asking him questions. Well, turns out she's a reporter recording the whole conversation and trying to get a story on him.
Well, she didn't start recording until she thought it was real. Then she immediately started, but yes. Okay.
So she sees there's something here. She's like, starts the recording, and he gets upset. And he's like, what? No way. And she leaves and goes straight to her editor the next morning. Who?
Is it the next morning? I thought it was like the same night. And you're like, why is this guy in his office at like 10 o'clock at night or whatever?
He was in his office later at night at another part of the movie.
Okay. All right.
But this was like the next day.
Yeah.
And it was like snowing outside the window.
Keeping you honest. This is journalistic integrity here.
I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
All right. Keep the questions coming.
Okay.
So then she brings it to her editor, who also happens to be an ex-boyfriend.
Oh, it just happens.
Thus the love triangle is formed.
Yes. It was quite the triangle. Yes.
And he's like, not believing her. This couldn't be real. Jeff Goldblum comes in and he's like, I've got a deal for you. What if you follow me, record everything I'm doing, because it's a great breakthrough, but I haven't yet transported living material.
Yeah, he doesn't say this in front of the editor, by the way.
Right, the editor storms off. And yep, so she's like, sure, sounds great. I'll just hang out with you all the time, recording you, and...
Sounds like a healthy relationship.
Be there. Yeah. The journalistic, I don't know, code of staying away from your source, like your source. Your source.
Yeah.
They get a little cozy, and she breaks some rules though.
They get a little cozy. Is that?
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So then she's following. He's like, all right, we're going to test this on a living thing. The first monkey doesn't make it.
Those monkeys were so interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second monkey, though, monkey makes it. Seems to be okay. And he's like, I just need to test out the monkey, make sure the monkey's okay. And then, I'm onto something. Then, like, you get the story, you get the scoop, and we're all, like, millionaires. Meanwhile, they become this cozy couple.
within the course. I mean, in the movie, it's within a 10-minute span, probably. But I think we agreed technically, like in the movie timeline, it was probably, I don't know, a month or a couple weeks.
There was some like...
Or some time. It wasn't just a day.
Yeah, there was a little time build up there, I guess.
Yeah.
So then getting to the good part.
Yeah.
Her editor kind of creeps back in and he's like gonna steal the story, basically. And so one night she's like, oh man, I can't let this happen. I'm not gonna let this guy steal my story. So she goes out.
Okay.
And what? You don't believe me?
Well, no, she is that what triggered her to do it?
Yeah, he sent her
the fake cover. Yeah.
Right, like a proof.
But he's not doing it to steal the story. He's doing it because he wants her back.
He's jealous.
It's the love triangle.
It's
not
triangle.
Like he wants to be famous. Yeah, he was trying to manipulate her, so she had to go nip that in the bud so she could have happily ever after. So
she rushes out, and Dr. Brundle, Jeff Goldblum, is like, what? He's talking to the monkey. He's like, what did I do? Oh, there's another man. Is she going for him? Like, what's going on? And out of desperation and foolishness, he's like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to send myself through right now.
He'd also been drinking, but yeah.
True. So he climbs into the pod, starts the whole process of transportation, but he doesn't realize that...
Teleportation.
Yes. Thank you. Doesn't realize that a fly is in the pod with him. The computer gets confused.
It does.
And it ends up splicing the two together. So Jeff Goldblum is spliced together with a fly.
What's not to love?
Well, at first it doesn't seem so weird.
It's pretty awesome at first.
Right. Like he has like new energy, new appetite for all things sugar.
Yes. His stamina is remarkable.
Exactly.
He literally does those 80s, like they're not 80s, but when I think of is it the Olympic sport where they're like twirling on the bar? What's that one called?
The bar.
Parallel? No, but it's like parallel.
Uneven bars?
Uneven bars. He just does that in the middle of the lab, which yeah.
Yeah.
I have so much energy. I need to start doing Olympic sports. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
It's not so bad. You know, like this new energy. And he's like, you should go through too, to, his woman, Veronica. And Veronica smartly is like, no, I'm not getting in there. And she sees the warning signs. Yeah. But the film follows his, like, what would you call it? Degradation or his transformation?
Yeah.
Into a human that's a fly. I don't know.
Yeah, transformation's okay. Degradation, yeah.
Yes, all of those apply because it's gross. It's not pretty.
Oh, that's true. It's not. But nature rarely is.
Yeah. Yeah. So moving ahead with my summary, I will wrap it up.
Sure. This is like Cliff Notes stuff. So if there's any students out there, this is some good Cliff Notes.
So Veronica finds out that she's pregnant. And they have to deal with that. And it turns out the weird editor ex-boyfriend, who was at first a total jerk, kind of becomes a hero and helps save her.
I think my favorite part of watching the movie was when I said, oh, hey, look, he's redeemed himself. And you looked at me and said, no, he hasn't.
He was so jerky in the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. But at the towards the end, he could have just peace outed. And he didn't. He stayed, and he's got some consequences as a result.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, the movie ends so abruptly. It's like, boom, over.
I mean, that's what it's like.
That's my summary, too.
That's what it's like with flies. They're frenetic and they're moving and there's all this angst and emotion and ew. And all of a sudden, you just get it and it's done. So, wow. So how do you feel now that you've watched this film?
Yeah, I feel still proud of myself that I made it through. I actually enjoyed a lot of the film.
Yeah, that was another thing that surprised me. You said that, yeah. Mm-hmm. What did you enjoy about it?
Well, Jeff Goldblum's acting was really great.
Yep.
Fun. It's just fun to see him. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And Gina Davis was also really, really good.
They were both really young. Too.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if it was pre Buckaroo Banzai or post Buckaroo Banzai.
Mm-hmm.
Post, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, they're both really young. So I liked their acting was great.
What year was this made in? Do you remember from the credits? Because your guess was 1979.
Oh, man. What did the credits say? 86?
It was 1986. Yeah.
Yes! Woohoo! I got it right.
Go memory. Yeah, 1986. I can't... this is your nerd street cred, really. Like, was Buckaroo Banzai before or after 1986?
I don't know. I want to say before.
You do you?
I do. So that is what I am saying, because that is what I want to say.
You want to pick a specific year? This is like throwdown challenge.
No.
I would have guessed 1985 if I had to guess.
Okay.
It was 1984.
Oh, hey.
So yeah. You were, I mean, literally there's, I don't know, 80 years worth of film history that your guess could have been. So I guess congratulations.
Thanks.
Sorry, I was being the arrogant doctor for a moment there. Speaking of arrogance,
played by Cronenberg himself.
Oh, yes, actually, that was a good Easter egg. What else did you enjoy about the movie?
Oh my gosh. Can I just say I loved all the clothes that Veronica wore. I was like, I want that outfit and I want that outfit. And it was like Cosby Show sort of clothes, but better. Oh, they were great. I loved the fashion.
But better. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, she was a metropolitan woman in the 80s, so she had some very nice duds.
And when they were dating, like in the early, maybe pre-gross phase.
Pre-gross phase.
She goes out to buy him a leather jacket, like as a gift or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you do. You go out, you're in love, you buy leather jackets. Aww. That's kind of how it was.
Yeah. No, I really liked the fashion. The acting was awesome.
Yeah.
And the technology was fun.
Yeah.
I love seeing things that go like clickety clackety and beeping, whooshing.
I love
the doors hiss open.
Clickety clackety. I love the way you describe things. So did you ever think you would say the words? You're shaking your head no. What am I about to say? You know what I'm about to say?
That I liked the movie.
That you liked a David Cronenberg film.
I never thought that. But okay, so now that I have two to compare, I will say that like his movies, they don't get to the gross, both of them didn't get to the gross things until quite late in the movie.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of time to enjoy most of the film.
Agree. Yeah, I've seen at least 5 or 6 of his films. And
really?
Yes.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
What other ones have you seen?
I'm not telling you. You crazy? It's like saying, oh, I got $1 million in the bank. You're like, what's the code to your lockbox? Okay. No, I'm not going to. Because you're going to see some of them.
No,
Spoilers.
I'm going to see more.
Spoilers. I don't know. Depends on how I feel.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
I was so proud of myself.
I know. Well, I mean, again, this is like a calibration. I've told you this with us last week. It's like I'm calibrating, and I know what you can and can't take and all that stuff. So anyway.
So yeah, his films I've noticed out of the 2 I've seen, not knowing how many more there were. Yeah, you get time to just like relax and watch it and not have to be on guard until much later in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you rate this one for you? Like in the realm of, you usually talk about like context about when you would want to watch it, like a date night movie. Or, I don't know, watch it with your grandparents.
This is a feeling brave. Let me think. Maybe nostalgic. Like if you're feeling nostalgic for the 80s, this is a good one. And like knowing that you'll have to just like look away for the last third of the movie.
Yeah, you did look down for a lot.
Oh.
You would see wind-ups for certain things and just look down.
Yeah.
And I had to tell you it was over at certain points.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's fair. I would have said date night movie, but if you're mean. Okay. How do you think this movie was? What do you think people thought about it when it came out?
I think that if I were watching it at that time,
1986.
I think that would have been really hard to watch still. Because it just really focuses the camera on the gross stuff.
It was really impressive though. The creature feature type stuff
Yeah.
that it did, it was very good.
Yeah, how long did Jeff Goldblum sit in makeup for those last scenes?
That I don't know, but the full body outfit for him was pretty intense.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And he starts, he loses his teeth.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
He regurgitates
The regurgitation is
with acid,
yes.
Things coming out of his mouth.
What did he call himself? Brundlefly?
Brundlefly? I think that was it.
Yeah, because Brundlefly can't digest, so he has to pre-digest all of his food.
Right, yeah. So
even the way, I'm sure the prosthetics helped when he was in the different makeup, but the way he talked when he was that far advanced, his voice, the way he changed his voice was cool.
Yeah, it was noticeable because his voice is so distinct. So you could, it was really obvious that it was different and he was changing.
Yeah. Did you think at any point in the movie, oh, hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. So part of the thinking about how it was received, just before we started recording, I read this little bit of trivia about the movie, and it was Vincent Price, who was in the original, The Fly. Jeff Goldblum wrote him a letter, and he said, "Oh, hey, I hope you liked it as much as I liked yours."
Oh.
And Vincent Price was, of course, naturally touched that he was, got the letter, and he replied after he went to see the film, which he described as wonderful, right up until a certain point. It went a little too far, which made me laugh.
But I mean, I think Cronenberg would have taken that as a compliment.
Oh, totally.
And probably Goldblum as well, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I particularly like 80s movies, because it was this era like that. A lot of films were like that. They were just they had funding, and it was like guerrilla funding sometimes, where they actually would have a decent budget for things, but there wasn't a whole lot of oversight, and they could just go crazy and do whatever they wanted to do. You
could tell.
Yeah. And this movie too, I think I said this a couple times, this to me feels like a mainstream Cronenberg film. It was not compared to some of his other stuff. And you saw The Brood. Right. Which also, I don't know, for a 70s movie, it was probably kind of mainstream. But the ideas, watching that movie as a modern, 21st century audience member, is just, it seems so weird, in Fringe, but it may not have been in the 70s. Anyway, I'm digressing. So, yeah. Do you think the movie holds up well?
No.
No?
Yes, no.
Maybe so.
It's an 80s movie that is from the 80s of the 80s.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I always hit up against this when you ask me, does it hold up well? Because I don't really know what you mean by that.
Oh.
Is it
yeah,
all of the special effects? Okay, so I'm thinking of the old Land of the Lost cartoon.
That does not hold up well.
That does not hold up well.
Yeah, that's a great example.
Really cheesy.
Yep.
Even though the music was great.
Yep.
But for this one, yeah, actually the effects were really good.
Mm-hmm.
They are still totally disgusting, and you don't know exactly how they're doing it.
Yep.
So if that's what you mean by holding up well, okay,
that's what I mean.
I'm gonna go with that.
You can watch it regardless of the year. Of course, if something's made in the 80s, it's gonna feel like the 80s when you watch it. Unless you're in the 80s making a movie about a time outside of the 80s, right? then it would only feel dated by the technology you see that was made it like used to make it, like the effects and things like that. Like I don't know, a good example is like you watch the Star Wars Episode 1, right?
Which one was that?
Oh, I was waiting for you to say that. The CGI in that one looks dated.
Yeah.
It's like early CGI, like it was one of the. Yeah.
When we watched The Matrix, the spoon bending, that was like...
That's dated, yes. But the movie holds up well. The story holds up well. The effects are good enough that you can be like, this is still... You can only find a little chink in the armor. Like, you just like the spoon. So that's what I mean by does it hold up well? Like, if you watched it now, are you distracted? Like, Land of the Lost, the TV show, I know you loved it, but you watch it and you're distracted by how bad the effects are, right?
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way at all on the fly. Like you said, you're immersed in it. You're like, wow, how did they do that? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's impressive for a movie that's, that old.
Have they remade the movie since this one?
Wouldn't you like to know?
That's why I asked.
No, they
okay.
have not.
Oh, interesting.
Unless it's under production right now. Like, as far as I know, they have not.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Now you know what I actually mean when I say that. I wonder how long we're 6 episodes in here. So
I mean, I've brought it up before. So
okay.
We're good.
Okay, cool. So it's my favorite question I always ask.
Yeah.
Messages. What messages do you think there are in this movie? I always love to hear what you struggle with.
Always get your key back. If you give someone your key and you break up, just get the key back or change your locks.
But
if you don't, what?
No, well, if she had gotten her key back, then she'd probably be dead right now. For context, we're talking about the ex-boyfriend had a key to her apartment in probably one of the most mansplained sections of the movie. She says, "Give me my key back," very directly. And he goes, no. I think I'm going to keep it. I think I'm going to keep it because I may need it later or something like that.
Yeah.
And he just leaves the apartment. He was in the apartment while she wasn't there.
Taking a shower. He went to her apartment to take a shower.
Yeah. He had a long day. Yeah, maybe her apartment's closer than his house. Who knows?
Yikes.
Anyway, that one moment, if she had done that though, if she had gotten her key back, he probably wouldn't have remained. He may not have remained like in the mix in the movie, and then it would have ended up bad for her. She would have been spliced together with Brundlefly. Just saying.
Veronica Fly.
Yeah. I think I didn't want to interrupt you. Do you have more to like the message?
Other messages. Well, also just common sense. Like you should not do science experiments on yourself when you're drunk and upset.
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, but a larger message. I'm not sure that I feel that there's a larger message, except that Jeff Goldblum is awesome.
It's true. He even had like a mullet in this movie.
He did.
He did.
A scientist with a mullet.
It was a pretty decent... I mean, you know me. I am not a fan of the mullet. But his mullet was fantastic enough that I didn't even think it was a mullet when I was watching it.
It only looked like a mullet at certain angles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved his like the clothes he had too. What was the material of the coat and the tie and stuff?
Like a
tweed and it's just very specific. I remember seeing a lot of people in those outfits.
Yeah.
I agree. The message of the film, well, I have a real message of the film and then my joke one. My joke one is don't do science when you're drunk unless the experiment is literally about being drunk. So you probably shouldn't make life decisions while you're drunk. 2, hello. Create a failsafe in your software that says, do you detect more than one life form? Like, come on. I'm just saying. Like,
right.
Wow. Yes.
Protect the user.
Yes. Protect the user. Or at least don't be the user. But really, like, this just plugs into a long line of technology / monster movies gone wrong. Like, technology is this evil, scary thing. Technology in a lot of movies is the monster. the things it drives us to do, the things that end up happening to us because of like wanting to push boundaries and limits and things like that. So that's the monster in a lot of things. So yeah, the message is don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Okay. So what was your I have two questions I want to ask. What was your favorite outfit you wore? Because I know you have one in your head.
Yeah, high-waisted, belted brown velvet pants with like a shirt tucked in and then a kind of a bigger jacket.
Wow.
Totally something Felicia Rashad would have worn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rashad. On the Cosby Show. It was gorgeous.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. Now, I'm not saying we just established, I was just curious about that last question. We just established that you should check to make sure there's not other creatures in the telepods
Yes.
before you go in.
Yes.
But if there had to be one that you were spliced with,
Whoa.
what creature would you want to be in the telepod?
Whoa. Well, okay, so
I
then
already have my answer, by the way.
You already have your
Yeah,
answer?
but I'm not giving it until you give yours.
Is it on your shirt?
It's not on my shirt, no.
Okay. So I have to think about that because not only did he become Brundlefly,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like more fly. Like
Yeah,
the fly
just
part
kept
kind of
going.
took over.
Just kept going.
And because at one point he was like, you need to get out of here, otherwise Brundlefly is going to hurt you. So if there was an animal that I wouldn't mind kind of becoming, I'm just going to say cat.
A cat?
Yes, well, I mean, think about a cat's life
Uh-huh.
and their wonderful, like, ability to sleep 22 hours a day.
They do sleep a lot.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but then I'd have to the thought of like cleaning yourself.
You get over that pretty easy.
Get over that.
Yeah.
I mean,
he got used to regurgitating. And
yeah,
everything.
exactly.
Oh, man. When he spit on the guy on his hand and stuff. Oh, that was so great.
Painful.
Yeah.
What animal would you be spliced with?
It's a tie.
Oh.
I thought of a second one as I was listening to yours.
You have to pick one.
No, I'm going to pick one. Immortal jellyfish.
Oh, that's classic.
It's a trend. Like the sequoia. I picked sequoia when it was plant. So
Just something that lives forever.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No. If it's not the immortal jellyfish, I'd probably pick dolphin.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah. Get to explore the sea. All right.
Plus, you'd still be quite intelligent.
Yeah, echolocation too.
Yeah.
You're smart. You do you do a lot of the activities humans do. And yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you go. Well, that's how I feel about cats.
True.
Would you come visit me?
Are you a cat or a human?
I mean, human spliced with cat, so whatever that means.
Oh, are we both spliced as the creatures?
Yeah, would you visit me?
Oh. Yeah, I probably would visit you as long as I had my legs. Once I was legless, I probably wouldn't visit much because I'd be in the water.
Okay.
But we would be star-crossed lovers at that point. You would be a cat, and they typically don't like water, and I would be a dolphin. It's almost, I can see the movie right now.
And then, boom, it's over.
And
End
then-
credits.
Boom, it's over.
So, what do they do, the phone booths?
Telepods. Oh. Okay. I need an object. Say, do you have something on you that's personal that I could use? Something uniquely you? An item of clothing or jewelry?
Key.
I'll keep it. For old time's sake.
No, listen, Veronica. I've come here to say one magic word to you.
Yeah?
Cheeseburger.